Hey guys, welcome back to HRTea After Dark. It's me, Mrs. HRT.
No.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to HRTea After Dark.
No. My lovely girlfriend is here. Hi, Kat.
Hey, it's me. Put like the Queen's music in there, something British and royal.
We're gonna be reacting to some TikToks together. I only took one quick peek at these TikToks. I don't really know what we're watching, to be honest.
I searched for just trans couples. I think I had a few keywords in there. I tried to find like cis women, trans men, but I found other videos as well. And I thought we'd react to them. I don't really know what this video is either. I just really wanted to insert myself in here.
Of course, I picked that one. I didn't know I was picking that one.
Our king and queen.
Yeah, we're kind of obsessed with Jesse Sullivan and Francesca Fargo. Jesse follows me on TikTok.
That's crazy. I would love to be like reincarnated as their twins, but I'm still, actually, I don't want to die, so.
No, I love Jesse Sullivan and Francesca. I think a lot of people don't like Francesca Fargo because she's been on like Too Hot to Handle and all of the reality TV shows. But while she may have made some questionable decisions within those TV shows, I think she's great now. I mean, she's dating a trans man. Not that you deserve a cookie, but you have to be somewhat cool.
Thank you so much. Also, like, look at the men she left behind and look at who she's with now. She's literally winning.
Well, they're pregnant now.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for them. It took them a long time to be able to get pregnant. They did IVF, right?
Yes, I watched all the TikToks. I'm very involved. They both did egg retrievals and then they did IVF. I'm learning.
They are doing a very good job because there's not many trans people out there, I feel like, who shed light on that journey because a lot of trans people just don't want kids, which is fair.
There's a lot of people that are being mean. Francesca had to stop doing bump updates on Instagram and switch to Snapchat, which I mean, marketing genius because Snapchat's where the money is. But like, because people were like body shaming her bump, first of all, that's just mean. But then people were also like asking like, who's the father? And like, I think she had said they're not saying whose eggs they did for either of them because they don't want people in the future to be like, that's not your kid or your kid, which is super smart. But like, kudos to them for literally sharing every detail of the journey.
Yeah, and then people are saying that they weren't sharing enough because they won't share that one piece of information, which is fucked up. Trans people aren't the only people who have to do IVF. I mean, there's people who aren't trans in relationships who have to do IVF all the time. I mean, even lesbians do it, gay men do it.
But also, I will say, there was a ton of people in Francesca's comments, cis women and cis straight couples, that were talking about it and giving her tips what they did for IVF. IVF is not just for trans people. Like, people are stupid when it comes to fertility, guys. Hello? Anyways, she's pregnant. I love her. Good for her. And also, wait, can I just say that Jessie gives her tips and like she has videos being like, when your boyfriend like talks to you about like what like the baby kicking feels like, because Jessie did have a child before. Talk about freaking couple goals. He like understands, he knows, he like makes her meals. What a man.
My goal one day is to get somebody on the podcast, like a trans man who had been pregnant in the past or has gone through it, or a trans guy or a woman who has gone through the IVF with their partner, cis or trans. Next! That's so fucked. Does that mean like he's calling her trans because she did the thing?
I thought it was that I couldn't tell if she was trans or was he trans, and he was like, do you know what I mean?
No, I think he is like, oh, she's trans because the way she's like the gas, like like getting it all out when a man pees, he like jiggles it like to get all the pee out.
I thought he was like having like FOMO. I feel like I fucked this whole video up now. What TikToks did I get?
That's funny as hell. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. That's funny as hell. Anywho. I mean, I see those videos all the time. Women being like, I was gay. I was so ready to start my lesbian era, but now I'm dating a trans man. Trans men sometimes get mad at that because it's saying that we're like a different variation of women. I'm not mad at it though. It doesn't bother me because fuck cis men.
I feel like I've seen this not with just trans couples. I've seen it a lot with like straight cis couples of a girl being like, when you come out as bi just to date like a cis man. I feel like people are taking it as like the original poster was like mad about it. It's a joke. Like they know they're not dating a woman, they're dating a trans man. They know that. They made a meme.
It's like you went through all of that work just to date a man. That's funny.
We giggle.
It's funny. It's definitely a plus that I can't get her pregnant, but it's also a huge minus as well. I guess for trans men who don't want kids, that's like funny and woohoo. But also for men who want kids, that's not always. I don't know. I kind of hate when people say that. But like, it's funny sometimes because it is something that I don't have to worry about, but it's also a privilege to have to worry about it, which I think people don't realize.
This does bother me a little. Like in like a haha, that's funny, and I giggle. But then I think about it and I'm like, okay, and if your boyfriend wasn't trans, like obviously yes. But like, do people forget that there's ways to avoid getting pregnant? Like that's what pisses me off. It's like it's not like cis couples are out here like fucking dodging getting pregnant. It's not a very difficult process. There are things. Like, that's what pisses me off about it. Like, yeah, it's funny and it's cool. If I go to the doctor and I see that it's like, oh, haha, you're not pregnant when you get your physical, I like do giggle at it because I'm like, LOL. But it does piss me off. Also, that's not true. You can get me pregnant. It's just different and not as easy. But period.
That's a cold, hard fact. But also just like wear condoms, straight people.
Like, go birth control. And yeah, maybe that 1% you'll have a baby. But that's between you and the universe.
But like, I get the joke and it is funny, but like, I wish people would think more.
Period. People don't think, babe.
You're still tough. You still got it going on. You still swaggy. You still, mask. Manly. Man.
Okay.
You picked that, and now it feels like I'm trying to tell people that I'm a bottom.
That one's good.
That one's funny.
That one's funny as fuck.
Do you think that like any time though that like a trans man who's dating a cis woman who's up to date and respectful and knows how to treat a trans man, I do think it's funny that like every time I'll do something feminine or just not manly, it's you're so handsome, babe. You're the manliest man.
Femininity is very manly on a guy. It is. It's like you are like secure in yourself that you can like show other parts of yourself. And that's 9 times out of 10 what gets a girl to like a guy. That video is so funny. But true. Also like be who you want to be. Do what you want to do. Embrace yourself. I love my little baby man.
I also think now, talking about men being feminine, now it's becoming a thing that men who are extra feminine on TikTok and stuff sexualize how feminine they are. Like cis straight men like sexualize how feminine they are when they wear like nail polish or they'll wear a skirt and then they'll pose for like a TikTok or something. Now I've seen a lot of cis women say feminine men used to be a green flag, but now it's turning into a red flag because cis men are using like feminine attributes to just get attention from women, but in real life they're actually just like shitheads. I don't know if y'all have watched Perfect Match, but Dom on there is a perfect example of that. He's like, he dresses in like skirts and nail polish and lip gloss all the time on like TikTok, and then you see him on Perfect Match and he's like a complete asshole. Like he's not for women's rights and the way he treats women is horrible. So like now it's turning into like a red flag, which sucks for men who are actually feminine and shit. Like could you imagine like someone saying my feminine attributes are a red flag?
Just because you wear nail polish and a skirt as a man, trans or not, doesn't mean that you're a good person. Also, it doesn't mean you have good style. I'm sorry, but you can't just throw, like, he's just like throwing nail polish and skirts on with like the most random articles of clothing. Look in a mirror, please, and tell me if that looks good before you get on TV, because I'm sorry, but I'm going to make fun of your outfit if it's ugly. I'm sorry. I'm a nice person, but style is everything. Did I crush this or... Cool. Guys, he said I'm crushing. I'm gonna blush.
That was a crazy height difference.
That is.
I mean, power to him. That's awesome. But that was a crazy. She's probably wearing heels though to give the full effect.
Probably. Also, on a first date, yeah, wear those heels.
Would you still date me if I was shorter than you? Like that much shorter than you?
Maybe.
I dated a girl who was taller than me, and while dating her, obviously didn't want to make her feel bad, so I was like, yeah, it's great, I don't mind, it's awesome. And at the time, I believed that, and I totally think that if your girlfriend's taller than you, fuck yeah, hell yes. But my ex-girlfriend was also way taller than me, so it did, as a trans man, it did make me very dysphoric and like unhappy and not manly, but I didn't know that at the time when I was dating her until we broke up, and then I, started dating this one, and you're shorter than me, and it does feel a lot better. I was always somebody who was like hated on people for saying that women shouldn't date men who are shorter than them, and I still believe that.
Period. That's it. I'm perfect for you. No tall ladies over here for this man.
It goes for whatever you prefer. I don't know.
I get that. I mean, personality is like the number one thing. People saying they have a height preference, I get it. But unless you're like planning on birthing the next like basketball player, relax. Like, you know what I mean? Unless you're like, I'm going to have a 7-foot tall child so they get me all the basketball money and I can be a millionaire, then I think you can relax and you can you don't have to be like, I will only date someone over this height. But also the fact that that you dated someone that was taller than you, if I wanted to wear 6-inch heels and be a little taller than you, I don't care because you don't care. I think that's the thing. I think there are a lot of cis men out there that are very insecure about that. And then it's like, if they feel very insecure about it, I think that kind of can bleed over. I've had a lot of friends who have dated guys, and if they wear heels, their boyfriend is like,
no, don't put those on, you're taller than me.
And it makes them feel emasculated. So stupid. So dumb.
That I feel is stupid. I also think it's stupid when women absolutely 100% refuse to date a man who's just a little bit shorter than them, or refuse to date a man who's just as tall as them. They have to be so much taller. And I get it to a point because you want to feel feminine, and that is important in a relationship. I used to think it wasn't important. I do think feeling feminine or masculine in your relationship is super important now, which I didn't realize before. There's just a fine line. You can't say, you don't want to date somebody who's this much shorter than you or is your exact height. I think you're stuck up and pretentious.
Yeah, and then I hope you find your soulmate and they're shorter than you. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to go, oh, I don't care because I love them. That's what people don't understand. It's you can have all the preferences you want in the world. I'm not talking about trans people. Obviously everyone has their preferences, but when it comes to stupid shit like height and eye color or whatever, if you meet your soulmate, that goes out the fucking window.
But then people would argue that that's not their soulmate if they're shorter or whatever, but I don't believe that.
But I'm saying you fall in love with them. It's you can't, I don't know.
Help falling in love with somebody.
You can't, guys. Look at me. I'm here and I'm in love. I have one last thought to add. That is very funny. And sometimes I understand that, especially in an Instagram picture, I will work my angles all day long, but it's never that I would never be he looks not as tall in this picture. I can't post it. What? I don't care.
Thank you. Thank you. Titan has freed us.
Oh, I wouldn't say free. More like under new management.
I just made a face because oh, cool. Oh my God. I get it. It's a joke. But then go date a cis woman. I know, I'm sure these people probably love their boyfriends, but irritating. Do you know what I mean? I know it's a joke.
Well, it's giving the same as before. I worked so hard to be gay and now I'm dating a trans man.
I don't feel bad for you.
I hate it in the sense that it's making trans men seem more like lesbians than trans men, but
that's what I'm saying. Way to fucking invalidate your trans boyfriend. Hello? I understand it's a joke and I get it, but then I think for all the people that are evil, let's just say that, all the people that don't accept trans people or judge them or are transphobic, look at that and go, oh yeah, even your fucking girlfriend doesn't think that you're a man. Hello?
But I also I'm not entirely mad at women who only date other women and trans men, because I understand excluding cis men entirely. I wouldn't call that a fetish, and I wouldn't say that they see trans men as women or lesbians or whatever, because again, fuck cis men. But yeah, I feel a lot of people would be but then you're just excluding cis men, and that's fucked up as well. I don't give a fuck cis men. I think all of them should go besides Max, and that's how I feel.
We know how you feel about cis men, babe. It's okay. Rightfully so. They're mean. Yeah.
So I see posts like this all the time, and like it is nice. And yes, your trans boyfriend loves to hear these things, but I'm sure your cis boyfriend probably does too.
Are we 5? Like, read the things. Handsome, cool. I'm so proud of you. Can you open this for me? Like, I'm not laughing because I know that like it really is the little things in life. I'm not laughing at this. This is very nice. This is very lovely. Very supportive. I feel like I'm making fun, but I'm not. I think it's cute, but it just is like, did a 4-year-old make this? Like,
I get it. Like, I just think that like for this, you don't have to separate the trans man and the cis man. I'm sure maybe minus the pretty boy one, but like, and also the you've always just been a boy to me. But like those two, I see how they're like for the trans men, but like also handsome, my boy, you're the best boyfriend ever. Couldn't ask for anything better. I'm proud of you. Could you open this for me? Like, any of that would feel good for a cis man as well. And like the could you open this for me is so funny because it's giving like make him feel masculine, and like it would work. It's just the projecting this to only trans men or to cis women who date trans women is just so funny to me. And I love how the background is Spider-Man. Like,
I saw Spider-Man and I was like, well, this is gonna be good. It's very wholesome and I love it. And I'm sure I could have seen this a year ago and been like, he's gonna love this.
you gonna love this one.
I am shocked that there's no king in there.
Yeah, I call every trans guy king. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I see these and I cringe a little bit just because it's like, did you need somebody to tell you this, to tell this to your boyfriend? Like, I also feel like cis women don't really need a lesson to learn how to love a trans man. Like, it can be very easy. All it takes is communication. But also, like, things like this make me feel like we're a different species sometimes. And like, species? What the fuck did I say? Species.
Really proud of him. He said that like whole word right, and then he stuttered. Yeah, that's true. Also, like this is my first relationship with a trans guy. You special or whatever, and like it didn't. I don't know. I feel like I did pretty good. I feel like I do ask you to open things for me, and sure, if it makes you feel good, that's all that matters. But really, I just want to open the fucking jar. Like, no offense, babe.
I do think it's important to make your trans boyfriend feel masculine if he wants to feel masculine, but like the way this is being delivered is just like teaching cis women a lesson to like learn how to love trans men, and I just don't think that's needed, if that makes sense. But it is wholesome and it is cute, and I do think this person is like right. Like, you should treat your boyfriend like that. You should treat any boyfriend like that, though. I mean, if they're a good person. Anywho,
Don't let your boyfriend stop you from finding your wife. Sorry.
5 red flags when you're dating as a trans guy. When the person isn't educated at all on trans issues. I don't expect you to know everything, but it's so easy to just Google the basic facts. I'm not a dictionary. Number 2 is asking lots of personal questions without asking if it's okay first, especially if you don't know each other that well yet. Sometimes I am in the mood for answering personal questions, but sometimes I'm just not. And you need to respect that. I feel like that's common sense. Number 3 is downplaying my dysphoria. If I'm telling you I feel uncomfortable in a situation and you're like, oh, just don't think about it doesn't matter. Cool, see you never. Number 4 is not respecting my boundaries, physical or emotional. I feel like that's just always a red flag, trans or not. And number 5 is fetishizing trans people. That is just very weird. Please like me for my personality and not for my transness.
yeah, I mean, like, everything he said is facts, and I agree.
I feel like that's very basic information. I wouldn't ask anyone a personal question. I wouldn't just be like, hey, and then ask someone something fucking personal. I always would be like, hey, I have a question, and if you don't want to answer it, that's cool.
No, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's just like, I feel like you're explaining how a relationship works, like not a trans relationship. Like, it's the same as the last video. Like, it's so simple. Like, I feel like people don't need a lesson on how to date trans people. Like, it gives like that we're complicated and we're not. But I like this guy. I've seen his videos in the past. Like, no hate to him. He's great. It's just like I see videos like this all the time where, like, I don't know, I feel like people get a lot of clout from saying the most basic things about trans people, like even trans people themselves. Like, how do people not know? Like, this is just how you treat a human being. Like, this is just normal things. It's like blowing people's minds, and it's like, it's so simple. Like, it's so simple. And like, I talk about it all the time. Where's my clout?
Yeah, I get that. That video and last one, like, they're very wholesome. That's very nice. And sure, I respect you, but I also, I don't know. And maybe there are. I don't know. Are there people that are curious to date trans men or trans women that are watching these videos? Maybe. But I feel like, for the most part, it's just human decency. right? Like what you said.
I mean, like, yeah, that's a good point. Like, I do think there are people out there that, like, are learning from it, and that makes me happy. But I would also like to see, like, kind of like the episode we did with Caitlin and Gabe and Tyler, and even an episode like this, where it's just, like, a trans couple actually talking. To just sit in front of the camera and be like, this is what you need to know about your trans boyfriend is just a little weird to me.
Do you know what we did when we started dating? Communicated. We got to know each other normally, as one does. And it's very wholesome to think maybe there is like someone younger looking at this, having a crush on a trans man, being like, how would I treat them? That is so fucking cute. And I think that's adorable that information's out there. But like, it's just be kind. Just, that's it.
Just learn how to communicate with your partner. I mean, trans or not.
I have no more words.
That's so fucked up, but so funny. Yeah, no, I would kill myself. That's why we don't fuck with cis men. And that's why you have to be careful with cis men, because 7 out of 10 times, it's probably a fetish. If I dated a cis man and I found out that he dated 19 trans men before me,
I mean, like, yes, preference, but like, ooh, it's giving like collectors. Like, it's literally giving like Thanos Stone. He must have them all. Like, okay, a few things about this video stood out, which is why I clicked it. Number 1, the song and like the filter sent me over the edge. Number 2, at first glance, I saw that and was like, oh my God, you're gonna be like, babe, because you were like, that's a fetish, and I'm over here like, that's so wholesome. He thought he was dating like a transphobe. He thought he was like maybe nervous that they're gonna be transphobic, but really they're so supportive. Oh, naive brain.
I understand having a preference, but like at that point, that has to be a fetish.
Well, also like, why are you dating 19 of them? Just find like a few boyfriends. I get it. Okay, but why are they all leaving you is the question. Why are you getting more?
That's true. I don't know. I feel like I walk a fine line between like having a fetish for trans people and then just having a preference. Because like, as I said before, fuck cis men, which is why I understand when women only want to date trans men. But women will normally only date trans men or women. A cis man who straight up just has sex with trans men, that's a fetish. And like, you are sexualizing trans men at that point, which is gross. Gross. I think it's gross. But like, what if a woman dated 19 trans men? If a woman fetishizes trans men, like only specifically dates trans men, then like, I have a hard time seeing that as a problem rather than a man only dating trans men, just because cis men are absolutely fucking horrible and fetishize everything.
I feel like women are just more open-minded, and so I think maybe that's, but we know you hate cis men, so I think like part of it is that women are just more like, cis women are more open-minded because we're amazing.
Period. I love that.
All women are amazing. I love everyone equally.
Cat trying to not get canceled. That's about it for this episode. I think it was fun. I would love to do more videos with you in the future. She loves that.
Guys, I think he has a crush on me.
Yeah, let me know if you want to see more videos like this of a trans guy and his girlfriend reacting to fucking TikToks.
Bro.
Give me more ideas of content you want to see in the comments below. Turn on my post notifications. I post every Tuesdays and Fridays. Turn on my post notifications. I post every Tuesdays and Fridays. I stream on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come hang out.
Follow him on Twitch, guys.
Follow me on Twitch. Join my Discord. Subscribe to my Patreon. I love making these videos. I love doing the podcast. And if you want to support that, if you want me to keep doing it, then maybe you should subscribe to my Patreon. Maybe that would be great. I would really appreciate it. All right, y'all. I love you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye.